You believe you know how to be clean. But what if the habits of a lifetime are now causing the very irritation you're trying to prevent? There is a gentle wisdom your body is asking you to learn after 60. You won't want to miss the final shift in thinking, or you may miss it and stay stuck with discomfort forever. The misunderstanding. We begin with a simple, profound error in our thinking. For decades, you were taught that to be clean is to be sterile, to be fresh is to be perfumed. The marketing, the messaging from our youth, even the well-intentioned advice from our mothers all pointed to one single idea, that the intimate parts of a woman's body were a problem to be solved, a place to be scrubbed, deodorized, and managed with rigorous, almost aggressive attention. This is the great misunderstanding. You see, the body, and especially this sacred area, is not a battlefield. It is a garden, a delicate, self-regulating ecosystem with its own wisdom, its own balance, and its own protectors. For most of your life, this garden was lush and resilient. It could withstand minor disturbances. It had powerful guardians, fueled by hormones that kept the peace. But after 60, the climate of the body changes, the seasons shift, and the way you tend to the garden must shift with it. To continue using the old, harsh methods is like using a power washer on a delicate rose bush. You are not cleaning, you are causing harm. The feeling of being unclean, the itchiness, the dryness, the slight odor you might be trying to fight is often not a sign of poor hygiene. It is the opposite. It is the garden's cry for help. It is a signal that its natural defenses have been stripped away by the very products and practices you believed were helping. The scented soaps, the fragrant liners, the vigorous washing. These are not cleansers. In this new season of your life, they are poisons to your personal ecosystem. They disrupt the delicate pH. They eliminate the good bacteria that stand guard, and they irritate tissues that have become as fine and precious as silk. So the first step is not to learn a new technique. It is to unlearn a lifetime of conditioning. It is to release the belief that you must fight your body. The goal is not sterility. The goal is harmony. We must learn to listen to the body's whispers before they become screams of discomfort. We must put down the harsh tools of the past and learn the art of gentle stewardship. This is not about adding more to your routine. It is about taking away the things that cause disruption. It is about understanding that true cleanliness is not the absence of all bacteria, but the presence of the right kind, living in beautiful, quiet balance. Dog's poem, Shifting Seasons. To understand how to care for your body now, you must first appreciate the profound internal shift that has occurred. Think of the hormone estrogen as the master gardener of your intimate health. For many years, it was abundant. It acted like a nurturing force, ensuring the vaginal walls were thick, plump, and elastic. It commanded the production of glycogen, a type of sugar that fed a very specific beneficial bacteria called lactobacilli. These lactobacilli were your staunchest guardians. They consumed the glycogen and, in return, produced lactic acid, creating an acidic environment where harmful bacteria and yeast could not thrive. Your garden was naturally protected. But after menopause, the master gardener's presence diminishes. Estrogen levels fall, and this sets in motion a cascade of changes. The vaginal walls, no longer receiving the same signals, may become thinner, less elastic, and more fragile. This is a condition known as vulvovaginal atrophy, though I prefer to think of it as a natural softening. The tissues become more delicate, more susceptible to tiny tears from friction, be it from intercourse, exercise, or even coarse underwear. Simultaneously, with less estrogen, there is less glycogen. This means there is less food for your protective lactobacilli. As their population dwindles, the amount of lactic acid they produce decreases. The result? The pH of your vagina begins to rise, shifting from an acidic protective state to one that is more neutral or alkaline. This subtle chemical change is monumental. It is like leaving the gate of the garden unlocked. The new, less acidic environment is far more welcoming to the kinds of bacteria that can cause infections, like bacterial vaginosis, or the yeast that leads to thrush. This is the core of the issue. The irritation, the dryness, the increased susceptibility to infections. It is not your fault. It is biology. It is a natural shift in the body's internal climate. This is why the old rules no longer apply. A scented soap that you might have tolerated in your 40s can now feel like acid on your skin. A daily panty liner that once felt like a security measure now traps moisture against delicate tissue, creating a perfect breeding ground for irritation and infection. Understanding this hormonal shift is not about mourning what is lost. It is about gaining the wisdom to adapt. It is about recognizing that this new season of your body requires a different kind of care, one founded on protection, gentleness, and the preservation of the delicate balance that remains. Daisamtso gentle rituals. Now we arrive at the practice, the physical act of cleansing. This must become a ritual of gentle respect, not a chore of vigorous scrubbing. The most important tool in this new practice is the one you have always had: water. Pure, simple, warm water. For the vast majority of days, this is all you will need. Let's be very precise. We must distinguish between two separate areas: the vagina, which is the internal canal, and the vulva, which is the external anatomy, including the labia and clitoris. The vagina is a self-cleaning organ. It is like a pristine mountain stream that cleanses itself from the inside out. You must never ever put soap, douches, or any cleansing product inside the vagina. To do so is to declare war on your microbiome, washing away the few remaining guardian bacteria and leaving the delicate tissues exposed and vulnerable. You are flushing out your own protectors. Let the stream cleanse itself. The focus of your cleansing should be the external vulva only, and even here, the approach must be one of minimal intervention. In the shower or bath, allow warm water to flow over the area. That is the first and primary step. If you feel the need for something more, perhaps after exercise or on a particularly warm day, you may choose a cleanser. But not just any cleanser. It must be a purpose-made, pH-balanced, fragrance-free, and hypoallergenic intimate wash. Look for products with a pH between 4.5 and 5.5. This is non-negotiable. Using your regular body soap, no matter how gentle or moisturizing it claims to be, is a mistake. These soaps are almost always too alkaline, and their perfumes and detergents are profound irritants to atrophied tissue. When you do use this special cleanser, use only a tiny amount, less than the size of a pea. Apply it with your fingertips only. Never use a washcloth, a loofah, or a sponge. These are far too abrasive for the delicate skin of the vulva and can cause micro tears, inviting infection. Use gentle, circular motions on the outer labia only. Then rinse thoroughly with warm water, ensuring no residue is left behind. The final step is just as critical: drying. Do not rub the area with a towel. This friction is a form of aggression against your skin. Instead, take a soft, clean towel and gently pat the area dry. Or, even better, use a hairdryer on a low, cool setting, holding it several inches away. The goal is to remove moisture without causing any friction. This gentle ritual, performed daily, respects the new season of your body. It cleanses without stripping, protects without irritating, and honors the delicate nature of your intimate health. It is an act of care, not of combat. Enomaku, product purity. Your bathroom cabinet and your underwear drawer are the next places where we must bring this new wisdom. What you put on and near your body is just as important as how you wash. We live in a world saturated with products that promise freshness, confidence, and femininity, but many of them are Trojan horses, delivering irritation and disruption disguised as care. We must become ruthless curators of our personal environment. Let us begin with the absolute prohibitions. First, scented products. This includes scented soaps, bubble baths, bath bombs, scented toilet paper, and perfumed laundry detergents. The chemicals used to create these fragrances are among the most common and potent contact allergens and irritants. For skin that has become thin and sensitive due to estrogen loss, these chemicals are not just an annoyance. They can trigger cycles of itching, scratching, and inflammation that are deeply distressing. Switch to hypoallergenic, fragrance-free detergents for your laundry, especially for your underwear. Your body will thank you. Second, douches and intimate sprays. These products should be removed from your home and never purchased again. Douching is the single most destructive practice for vaginal health. It is the equivalent of setting off a bomb in the garden ecosystem. It violently flushes out all bacteria, both good and bad, and fundamentally alters the pH, leaving you completely defenseless against infection. Intimate sprays and deodorants simply mask potential issues with a layer of irritating chemicals, preventing you from noticing your body's subtle signals while actively making the underlying problem worse. Third, everyday panty liners. While they may seem like a good idea for managing minor leaks or discharge, conventional liners are often made with synthetic materials and plastics that trap heat and moisture. This creates a warm, damp environment right next to your vulva, the perfect conditions for bacteria and yeast to multiply. If you need protection, seek out liners made from 100% organic cotton. They are far more breathable and less likely to cause irritation, and change them frequently at the first sign of dampness. The goal is to keep the area as dry and well ventilated as possible. Finally, we must talk about fabric. Your underwear is the environment your vulva lives in all day long. Synthetic fabrics like nylon, polyester, and spandex are non-breathable. They trap moisture and heat. The single best choice you can make is well-fitting, 100% cotton underwear. Cotton breathes. It wicks moisture away from the skin, helping to keep you dry and comfortable. Think of it as choosing to plant your garden in rich, aerated soil rather than suffocating clay. This simple change from synthetic to cotton can, by itself, resolve long-standing issues with low-grade irritation. Product purity is about creating a sanctuary for your body, a clean, calm, breathable environment where your delicate ecosystem is not constantly under assault from the outside world. Internal nourishment. Our journey of care does not end with external practices. The health of your intimate garden is a direct reflection of the health of your entire being. True, lasting comfort comes from a holistic approach that nourishes your body from the inside out. What you drink, what you eat, and how you approach intimacy all play a profound role in maintaining balance. The first and most fundamental form of internal nourishment is water. It is so simple, we often forget its power. The delicate tissues of the vagina and vulva, like all mucosal tissues in your body, depend on adequate hydration to stay plump, resilient, and healthy. When you are dehydrated, these tissues are among the first to suffer. They can become drier, more fragile, and more prone to irritation. Drinking sufficient water throughout the day is not just for your kidneys or your skin. It is a foundational act of care for your intimate health. It helps your body produce its own natural moisture and keeps all systems flowing as they should. Next, consider your diet as a way to support your body's changing needs. While the population of your protective lactobacilli may be smaller, you can still support them. Eating foods rich in probiotics, such as plain yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut, can help bolster the colonies of good bacteria throughout your body, including your gut and, by extension, your vaginal microbiome. Furthermore, some women find relief by incorporating foods that contain phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds that gently mimic the effects of estrogen in the body. Foods like flax seeds, soybeans, edamame, tofu, and chickpeas may offer a subtle supportive boost. This is not a replacement for medical therapy if needed, but it is a gentle way of working with your body's new state. Finally, we must speak of intimacy and the critical role of lubrication. Due to the hormonal shifts we've discussed, natural lubrication may be significantly reduced. To engage in sexual activity without adequate lubrication is to invite friction, pain, and microscopic tears in the vaginal wall. This is not only painful, but also creates entry points for infection. It is an act of profound self-respect to acknowledge this change and adapt accordingly. Invest in a high-quality, water-based or silicone-based lubricant. Avoid any products with perfumes, flavors, or novelty additives like warming or cooling agents, as these are all potential irritants. Beyond intercourse, many women benefit from using a dedicated vaginal moisturizer 2 to 3 times a week. This is different from a lubricant. A moisturizer is absorbed by the tissues to provide long-term hydration and relief from everyday dryness and discomfort, while a lubricant is for reducing friction during activity. Using both, a moisturizer for ongoing tissue health and a lubricant for intimacy, is a powerful combination. It is a way of providing the moisture externally that the body may no longer provide as abundantly from within. This is how we nourish the garden from the inside and the outside, creating a complete circle of care. Khabaras, mindful awareness. The final piece of this wisdom is not a product or a technique. It is a state of mind. It is the practice of mindful awareness, of learning to listen to the subtle language of your body. For too long, we have been taught to silence our bodies, to ignore their signals, or to immediately treat any sensation as a problem to be eradicated. But your body is your wisest teacher. It is constantly communicating with you. The slight itch, the feeling of dryness, a change in discharge, these are not failures, they are messages. Your new practice is to become a gentle observer. Pay attention to how you feel after you shower. Notice how different fabrics feel against your skin. Be aware of how your body responds to different foods, to stress, to a lack of sleep. When you feel a sensation, do not rush to judgment or panic. Pause, breathe, get curious, ask, what might my body be telling me? Did I use a different soap? Did I sit too long in a wet bathing suit? Am I dehydrated? This curious, compassionate internal dialogue is the cornerstone of intuitive self-care. This awareness extends to knowing when to seek help. While the practices we have discussed can resolve the vast majority of common irritations, it is vital to recognize the signs that require a doctor's attention. Any unexpected bleeding, persistent pain, foul-smelling discharge, or sores are signals that should not be ignored. A mindful relationship with your body includes knowing the limits of self-care and having the wisdom to seek professional guidance when the message is urgent. Embrace this new relationship. See your body not as a machine that is breaking down with age, but as a natural landscape that is moving through its seasons. The landscape of winter is not less beautiful than the landscape of spring. It is just different. It requires a different kind of attention, a different kind of care. Tending to your intimate health in this new way is an act of grace. It is an acceptance of the natural flow of life. It is a declaration that you are worthy of gentle, loving, and wise attention at every stage of your journey. You are not fighting aging. You are partnering with it, bringing a lifetime of wisdom to the beautiful, sacred act of caring for yourself. Which single act of gentle care are you going to embrace for your body first? Share your intention below. Let's honor this journey together.